So my name's Amy. I am currently an ECT at Gowrie Docklands Kindergarten. And I come back to the sector after about 8 years in primary, predominantly working with preps and year ones. So I've always kind of danced between the kind of beginning of school and had that interest in coming back to early childhood at some point. And I guess my background is that I went on maternity leave and had my first child and made the choice that I had always wanted to come back to early childhood, and it kind of just pushed me to make the choice that this is where I wanted to be. And it's sort of actually enabling me to have that part-time balance a lot more, which has been really useful. I think one of the big things for me coming back into the early childhood space is kind of the time, and it's a gift, but it's tricky when you are used to, I often say to the team here, I'm so used to having bells and segregated times of the day and almost the structure, and whereas here you have that ability to create the structure, but therein lies that kind of new way of thinking. And I think for me too, that element of having to manage a team. I think coming from the primary sector, you have your class. We worked very much where I was working in a team of teachers, so 3 classes. That we were collaborative, but it's a very different context where you're sort of leading a team. So they were sort of other skills that I really had to develop, and also really like basic things like just managing everyone's lunch breaks. I'm used to recess and lunch, and that's when you have your break. So trying to go, oh yes, you're going on break now, but that's okay because we're in ratio. I think our incredible pedagogy leader here at Gowrie, Debbie, was vital. I think just in particularly with thinking through the pedagogy, but also she was really instrumental just in terms of helping me understand the planning cycle, how I might do things, because I think what you find potentially in a primary school setting is it's a little bit more structured and there for you, like this is how we do it. Whereas I think you come to early childhood and your program can be how you want it to be. So which is amazing, but it also then creates this level of, there's so many options. How do I know I've chosen the right way, and how do I know I'm doing it right, I guess. So I think having Debbie just not to tell me how to do it, but to guide me through it. So those sort of conversations, and I guess they were kind of like informal coaching really. Just being able to come to her and ask those questions and to talk things through was incredible. And we was really lucky to have her here quite a bit. So it wasn't necessarily Debbie telling me, no, this is how you do it, no, this is not how you do it. It was more of a, well, what do you think? What are you thinking? Where's your next move? What's your next step? So it was kind of that guiding as opposed to telling. She also had a wealth of knowledge and experience that was obvious. So I knew that I'd come to her and say, I'm thinking about this, how do I go about it? And it might have been a conversation of like, in my practice previously, I've done it this way, but also a lot of the time it was like, I've got this really fantastic book, have a look at this, educator who does it in this way. So a lot of it was kind of guiding with resources. I'm really excited to be I'm working the 4-year-old program. I'm also really excited to see where we go with this group. I don't know what interesting something's going to appear, but I know that there's, we're really building a really strong foundation for some really deep learning and really meaningful learning. I'm also really excited about our context because we have families with so many different languages coming to our service. So looking at how we can kind of incorporate that into our programs too is something I'm really excited about.